Stewards, Bryce Gallagher, and Rod Hurd. Same thing, we'll let you ask questions, but if you could identify yourself when you ask your first question, along with your outlet, and if you have a question specifically for one of the student athletes, address it to them. That would be great.
I'll go first. Yeah, I'm the one from ABC7. Welcome, guys, and thanks for being here today.
Of course.
What have these last few weeks been like for you guys as members of this team, watching all of this unfold and knowing what's being said around you? And this is for all of you, many of you, just to kind of comment about what this has been like for you.
It's been a difficult time, but we've been able to refocus and look at what's really important, and that's getting back to winning games. So the team, the staff, the coaches, everybody in this building, we've been all head pressed on just getting back to winning games and doing everything we can to do that, accomplish that.
Yeah, and a big thing too is just sticking together. We've really just stuck together through all of this, and just checking in on each other, making sure everyone's doing okay, obviously, during this difficult time, especially the younger guys who obviously just got here, just looking out for them and looking out for each other and just making sure as older guys on the team, we're really just keeping everyone together and sticking together, which we have been doing. And it's, like Rod said, just refocusing and focus on the season coming up.
Yeah, like they both said, I mean, it's been a difficult time, but at the end of the day, we still got to play Rutgers on September 3rd. So our main focus is to win games and also stick together. That's been a big aspect of like what we've been trying to do as a team.
Kaylin Kaler with The Athletic. Nice to meet you guys. So you're all going into your 5th year in this program, and as you mentioned, you're leaders and veterans on this team. What was I believe when you were freshmen, you did go to Camp Kenosha in 2019. What was that experience like for the 3 of you, if you want to each answer that?
We're not here today to talk about any hazing allegations. We're here to talk about the upcoming season. We've had a great training camp so far. Guys have really stuck together through this difficult time, and we've been focused on that and sticking together, so it's been a really good training camp so far.
Paul Sullivan of Chicago Tribune, one of the coaches had at Northwestern against the world, or I guess a couple of them did. Do you endorse that opinion, or do you guys feel like the whole world is against Northwestern?
I mean, Coach Brian, he's been preaching that, we should stick together, especially during a time like this. So the shirts are really just a reminder to really allow us to stick together, and it's just a reminder, yeah.
Yep.
It's got nothing to do with the hazing thing?
Just a reminder, sticking together through this difficult time, just leaning on each other, and we know the only people we need are the people in this facility. So just sticking together and worried about the people in this facility and taking care of each other.
Exactly.
You talk about, sticking together, the turbulent time. Do you feel that there's a sense of you guys being older guys, like you said, in the locker room right now with these younger guys coming in to set a precedent and to make sure that the leadership and the message that you're sending and that what Northwestern football is all about is there? Like, do you feel an added responsibility now given everything that's going on?
I just think it's just a continuation. We've always had great leaders in the program, and it's just now our time to step up and do the same. And I think we've done a great job at supporting the younger guys and making sure that they're good, they're all right. Yeah.
You guys, Charlie Wojciechowski for Channel 5. Talk a little bit about the mood. You're all relying on each other. You're all turning to each other. Tell us what it's like to get back on the field and get back to what you guys do.
Yeah, it's been a breath of fresh air. For sure, just getting back out on the field together, having fun, playing football, like you said, that's what we do. So getting out there, playing football, and just making sure our focus is on Rutgers on September 3rd. And we've had, like I said, we've had a great training camp so far, and it's been really nice getting out there on the field and just competing, helping each other out, help coaching the younger guys out, help develop them. So it's been a really good training camp so far.
Brought the locker inside on you. This is for all you guys, but especially Rod and Bryce. Obviously, David Braun comes in, brings in his new scheme. What have you seen defensively, and how do you think it's different than what you guys have experienced in the past years?
Yeah, I think there's definitely similarities and differences. Coach Brown's brought in a bunch of great stuff on the defensive side of the ball, obviously. And we're really excited to just keep mastering that during training camp and then go out and show what we can do against Rutgers on September 3rd.
Yep, I think he's done a great job at, trying to create more opportunities for the players and, getting us in position to make a lot of plays this upcoming fall.
Adam Rittenberg with ESPN. Bryce, you mentioned you don't want to talk about the allegations, but a lot of things have been said about the culture of this program publicly over the last month. What would you like to say in response to that, or what the culture is of this program in your mind?
Like I said, we're not addressing any past hazing allegations or anything like that. What I can tell you is right now we have a great culture in our locker room, and guys are really sticking together through all this. And like I said, the older guys are really just focused on helping these younger guys out, helping each other get through this, and just leaning on our relationships, the relationships we've built as older guys throughout the past 5 years now, and just helping us get through this time, and having that carry over on the field too. Obviously, like when you're out there, you're going to trust the guy to your right and to your left. So just making sure that we're all looking out for each other and making sure we're all in a good mental state during these difficult times.
Matt Dunn, CBS Chicago. I know you guys said multiple times you don't want to talk about the hazing allegations, but have you guys talked as a team about maybe what happened, what you went through, and how to make sure nothing like that happens again?
I think we've done a great job of just focusing on moving forward, from the situation. Looking forward to all the opportunities that we have to go out there on the field and, play the game that we really love. That's really, why we all came here in the first place. So I think that's mainly what's, been the conversation been like.
Andy Seligman, AP, what do you say to recruits who are considering Northwestern but have concerns over, what's gone on with the program and what might happen to them if they come in here?
I would say that, the people in this building are great. We've always had, people with high character. That's the reason why we've chosen to come here. It's just a different standard when you come to Northwestern. So for, people that or recruits coming in, we would just say that, just be ready to work, be ready to put your head down and apply yourself and take the opportunity for what it is.
How does that jive with the allegations that are out there?
Like we said, we're not talking about any allegations that are out there right now. We're focused on the upcoming season, but this place is great. Obviously, the academics and the football, playing in the Big Ten is why we chose to come here, and that's what I would say to recruits is you get best of both worlds. When you come to Northwestern, you get the best academics in the country, and you also get to compete in the Big Ten.
At the Big Ten Media Days, Braun said that many of the players in the locker room were frustrated about Pat Fitzgerald being fired. How did you guys find out about it? Like, what was your initial reaction when that happened about a month ago?
Yeah, I think we were devastated. Obviously, losing your head coach. No one ever wants to lose their head coach or have that change. We loved Coach Fitz and devastated that he's not here. But we have full belief in Coach Braun, and he's been unbelievable and has done a great job leading us and has really just shown us like how much he cares about us. Obviously difficult times, but he's shown that he cared about us. And then as far as like X's and O's and football things, all of us have full belief in him, and we're going to run out on September 3rd behind him ready to go.
You guys stay in touch with Coach Fitz?
Yeah, those
Yeah,
are personal
yeah,
conversations that are between us and him.
Is there anything to learn from this experience? I know you guys aren't going to talk specifically about the allegations, but having gone through this, it seems like it's obviously a very polarizing topic. People are on one side or another. But is there any middle ground? Is there anything to learn? Is there any part of Northwestern's football culture that needed fixing?
Like I said, not addressing any past allegations, but I will say what we kind of learned through this is when you're going through difficult times, just lean on the people around you. Just lean into relationships, lean into each other, and just make sure the people around you are okay. And like I said, our focus are the people in this building and just making sure we're all okay during this difficult time.
And what degree are you following the ongoing coverage of this? Because this is going to be going on for a while.
I don't think we've been focused on the outside media and, all the opinions that people outside of this building have. I mean, ultimately, they are not in this building. They don't know what's going on. They can have their opinion, but, we've just been focused on ourselves mainly.
For Bryce Kurtz, Pat Fitzgerald obviously still on the team, working with you guys, I guess, off the field. But what's it just been like supporting him or dealing with him in the last month?
Yeah, no, I mean, Jax, he's been around. He's still in the locker room. He works as an assistant now, but we've just really just been there for him, just supporting him, hanging out with him, making sure that he always has somebody around him. Just really kind of like talk to, just hang out in general. He's been taking it well. He hasn't seemed to let it affect the way his attitude or the way he interacts with us. So I think what we're doing is good.
Opportunity insights on Bryce. Just as an offensive player, what do you know about Coach Braun before he took over as head coach and when he was just a DC, and how's that relationship I guess, for you, and if you could speak to the offense side of the ball, how have you gotten to know him?
Yeah, no. I definitely did not know much about Coach Braun, obviously, because he's a defensive guy and I play offense. But Coach Braun always made it clear that he wanted to get to know the entire team, even when he was the defense coordinator. Like, we would be up at workouts before practice, and he would be walking around, just saying what's up to the guys. Like, he didn't have a reason to talk to me, but he did. So I've just gotten to know him on a personal level more than anything, and that really was like special to me because I just haven't had that yet with anybody else from a defensive side.
Louis McCare, WildcatReport.com. I was just wondering, you guys played for Fitz for a long time. What kind of differences have you noticed between Fitz and Coach Braun, the way they run practice, the way they run camp? Not better or worse, just what are some differences?
I honestly think Coach Braun and the whole staff has done a good job keeping it feeling as normal as it can right now, and just because we're creatures of routine when it comes to football and like having a routine as far as, like you said, practice and stuff like that. So just keeping that as close to what we've been used to and the older guys have been used to the past couple of years. So it's been, I'd say, very similar to what we've experienced in the past.
What's been the reception, guys, just on campus? I know schools are not really in session yet, but how have you guys been received around here since everything happened?
Like I said, we're focused on the people in this building. Right now during camp, obviously, we're together most of the day. So just focusing on each other and those relationships and making sure everyone's okay in this facility.
And for Bryce, you guys brought in 2 new transfer receivers, Cam Johnson, AJ Henning. What's it been like to work with those guys, and how do you think you complement each other in that receiver room?
Yeah, no, it's really great. I picked their mind, they pick mine. We definitely help each other out on the field, whether we're on the field or in film. AJ, he brings a lot to the game. He's fast, he's quick. He can get away from guys. Cam, he's played a lot of football. He's played 5 years, 4 at Vandy, 1 at Arizona State. So we've really just been helping each other out as far as route running, blocking, and the playbook. But yeah, it's been great having them in the room for sure.
I believe today is the last day for players to enter the transfer portal. I think 7 players have entered the portal. What do you guys think of that? Braun said he was really glad that so many guys chose to stay here. What have you guys seen of that as being veterans of this team, with players leaving and the transfer portal being an option?
I think it just shows that what we have here is valued, and for the players that stayed, they wanted to be here, and for the players that left, we fully support their decision in doing so. So I think that's just mainly what we got out of it. The players that stayed, they really value this place and they wanted to be here.
None of you guys ever considered that?
No.
No.
Melissa Perez, AP. How do you guys feel as athletes about hazing in general, and does hazing have a place in sports?
I don't think we want to comment on that.
Has there been any for you, or did you heavily recruited, like once Pat Fitzgerald got fired, were schools calling you guys, inquiring about possibly leaving?
We mainly focused on ourselves. We didn't really. I don't know about individually on guys what they did in their individual time, but I can speak personally. I just focused on just being here and doing what I have to do to make sure that this upcoming season is the best one for myself and for the rest of the team as well.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. My purpose, our family's purpose, is certainly crystallized. It crystallizing that I'm the head coach. I would say no. That's going to take some good time, interesting context and circumstances to all of it. What I can say is the opportunity to get back with this group, with this staff, with this team, and get back to football has been just a great opportunity for us to get back into a certain level of routine, and that part has been a lot of fun.
Coach Deion Miller, ABC7. How have you seen this group kind of invest, or where have you noticed that they're all in with you and want to move forward with this program?
I think the thing that I really enjoy about this group is it's not really through their words, it's through their actions. I think the limited amount of young men that have gone into the transfer portal is a great reflection of that. And you can just see the leadership stepping up from a standpoint of just rallying around one another, supporting one another, and like I said, showing up every day throughout the summer for workouts with our strength and conditioning staff. their intentionality through fall camp so far has been really impressive.
Coach Dane Placco of Fox 32. Have you talked to the players about the ongoing hazing scandal, and what are you telling them about what's going on right now?
You know, I haven't discussed anything prior to my arrival on January 16th of this year. What I have discussed with them and our department has put into place is, you know, how we move forward and taking steps to make sure that, you know, we experience some hazing prevention training prior to fall camp. And, you know, like I've said before, the reason I do what I do is to ensure that the young men in our program have an incredible student-athlete experience. And, you know, I'm doing everything in my power to make sure that, you know, I do just that. And hazing certainly has no part of that.
I was just going to follow up. Is there do you feel that there's any added pressure on this team that you need to alleviate because of this situation?
I think there's just a level of understanding from my part that a lot of people have been affected in all this, and there's a lot of emotional energy and a lot of emotions that are going on. And it's at the end of the day, I'm responsible for the 103 young men in that locker room and making sure that their well-being is at the forefront of my mind. And so in that regard, yeah, there's a lot going on with that. But some of the best things that have you know transpired over the last few days is our guys being able to get into a certain sense of rhythm and routine.
Kaylor with The Athletic. I'm wondering if you saw the shirts, the Cats Against the World with the number 51 shirts that JPN and a few other staffers were wearing today, and if you spoke to them at all about the message that specific shirt sent.
Yeah, no, what I can tell you is, you know, my purpose and, you know, my intentionality is going to be solely based on supporting these young men, supporting this staff, making sure that my actions align with making sure that this fall is an incredible experience for them. I'm not going to dive into, you know, it certainly isn't my business to censor anyone's free speech.
Matt John, CBS Chicago, but you know, you mentioned you have a level of understanding and knowing that a lot of people have been affected by it. Do you at least think those shirts were maybe a little tone deaf?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question for me?
You mentioned you have a level of understanding how many people have been affected by what happened here, and wearing those shirts to many seems a little tone deaf.
Again, you know, all my energy and intention is going in to make sure that this staff and these players feel like they have a head coach that's got their best interests at the forefront of his mind, and that we're structuring practice and meetings and support to ensure that. Again, I have not put any of that energy into considering the potential of censoring someone's free speech.
Albert Lee with ESPN. Just wondering what Jack Fitzgerald's status is. Everyone's not even what's going on.
He's still on the roster, and right now he's just helping with the operations of the program. He's been an incredible asset, and you know, bringing a smile every day and working his butt off.
Could he still play at some point, or is that sort of the plan for him this fall?
My understanding is that, you know, from a compliance standpoint, he's still on the roster and eligible to play. Just right now, he's helping us out in other areas.
Describe the mood today. What was it like with the players on the field? What was it like getting the coaches together? What's going through everyone's mind? We understand the intentionality here, but just general mood.
To be honest with you, the general mood is a typical practice 6 at camp. We're starting to get sore. We're starting to get worn down. It's starting to get chippy. There's some trash talk. There's, you know, finding this happy balance between guys really competing and straining, but also keeping in mind, you know, most Big Ten schools are walking into fall camp right now with 120 young men. We have 103, and we have to be very calculated in how we practice to balance that strain of competition while making sure that we keep this team healthy. Skip was unable to be here today, but we expect Skip to be here, not on a part-time basis, on a full-time basis, to be very active. He has been in the facility prior to this week, and he and I are working really diligently to really iron out that role, but already he's been an incredible asset just with the current context of the situation and me being involved with the defense and calling the defense moving forward. that's less than ideal. If this was different timing, this was January, we'd go out and hire a defensive coordinator. So, at the end of the day, I have to be aware of those time constraints with my energy being there. And Skip has done a great job of connecting with myself and Alex Nisley to really take, the reins on some of our recruiting, some of our operations, some of the things that are, behind the scenes that are needed, within a program of this size. And with his over 20 years of head coaching experience, he's brought a great deal of wisdom to the building, which is something I certainly welcome.
David, Andy Seligman with DAP, have you had any contact with Pat since all this went down? And just wondering on that, and just describe the nature of it if you have had any.
Checking in with someone that has a son that's involved in our program. There's been a lot of communication with parents. What people, I'm certain people understand that the second that all of this transpired, the transfer portal opened for our guys. I mean, you're essentially looking at a roster of 110 young men that we have to re-recruit and present to them why they should stay at Northwestern. So the communication with parents was extensive and something that was involved with all parents, whether that be direct or indirect. There has been a certain level of checking in on someone that at the end of the day provided, an opportunity for me and my family that, I care about his personal well-being very, very much. Not everyone knows this, but, when I transitioned here, you stay in a hotel for a couple nights, and at that point, you're trying to figure out living situations. And Evanston and Glenview, Wilmette aren't easy places to just find a place to live. Coach Fitz and his family, brought me in under their roof for 2 months. The relationship with Pat is much deeper than just someone that I worked for 6 months. But those conversations are personal and have been personal. Just checking in on a friend, making sure he's doing okay.
Pat Fitzgerald, his son, is in a very tough situation. You sort of detailed his status now as somewhat of a player coach at the moment, but still on the roster. Can you go into those conversations with him at all on how you guys or he decided this is what he wants to do for them?
Yeah, and I'll keep personal conversations personal, but I can tell you he's been an incredible presence in our building. He's working his butt off and bringing a great attitude every day.
You talked briefly about the transfer portal. How many players have moved through the transfer portal? Actually, some have also decommitted. I counted a total of about 8. Is that normal for this time of year?
I think it's abnormal from a standpoint of how many young men have stayed committed and how many young men have stayed in this program. I think it's a credit to the young men on our roster and the young men that we've recruited that they want to stay the course. They understand the value of a Northwestern degree. In the current climate of college athletics where things are going, much more towards pay for play, transactional, Northwestern still has the ability, when done right, to be the ultimate student-athlete experience. World-class education, playing in the Big Ten, which is only growing and expanding and new opportunities. And I think the young men in our locker room and the young men that we've recruited that have stayed committed understand that. And they're going to have to weather the storm of how this is going to play out long-term. But really proud of our commits that have stayed committed, really proud of the team that we have working their butts off and practicing every day right now. Yeah, I can't speak to speculation, but what I can speak to is, the vision that we have moving forward. I've been charged, by this administration and through collaboration with our staff, we're going to move forward as great stewards of this program, of making sure that we're recruiting our tails off. We had a recruiting opportunity in July when the calendar was still open. We had commits on campus, class of 2024s that, we're still recruiting, class of 2025s. There's still so much to put on full display in terms of the opportunity that exists here at Northwestern, playing within this football program, playing in the Big Ten. Those that understand and know Northwestern can certainly identify with that. And, moving forward, we plan to fill out this class with a group of young men that want to step up to that challenge. They understand that these aren't calm waters. It's turbulent. in some regards, they're running, they're facing the storm. They see something going on, instead of turning and saying, you know what, it may be easier over there. They see the opportunities that still exist at Northwestern, and they're willing to embark on that challenge. Yeah, no, Blake Braun is here, and you know what? God has his little ways of putting things in perspective. This has been a turbulent time for everyone, incredibly turbulent time for my wife, and our two boys these last couple weeks. Her poise, her support has been unwavering and incredible. And, as much as my time and energy will continue to go into the young men and the people around this program, that little girl arriving was a very clear reminder to me that the most important role that I play is being a great husband and a great father. And she's starting to get a little bit more sleep. That wasn't the case the first few days, but let's hope that trend continues. I'm sorry, DJ was the first part of your question. She arrived. This is you're gonna get me here. It was July 29th, which was a Saturday, which was also the day that we had an unofficial visit on campus, and there was a lot going on. But no, mom and baby girl are happy and healthy and doing really well. I appreciate you asking. In terms of DJ, I think he is reflected and just made it very clear to me that he was the right hire. He stepped into this facility. He hasn't, walked in and say, hey, I got all the answers, or, let me overstep my bounds. He's come in, he's observed, he's been someone to lean on, not only for myself, but the rest of the defensive staff, and will only continue to gain a bigger role within our staff. But, DJ is a low ego, high output kind of guy, and that's why he was the right man for the job. That's a great question. I'll defer to Mike in terms of exactly how he's splitting those reps, but I know he's ensuring that both Ben and Sully are getting good opportunities with the ones. Since seen some really good things out of both of those guys. Ryan Holinsky, I have to apologize to Ryan. I didn't mention Ryan at Big Ten Media Days, and it wasn't because I don't like Ryan. Ryan's great. But Ryan is coming off an injury. I had never seen Ryan practice before. All of a sudden, it's the first day of camp, and it's like, man, who's this guy dropping dimes on fade balls? He's been doing a great job. Jack Lausch continues to prove to be, an incredible athlete. But, right now, Ben and Sully are duking it out. There's great depth in that room with Ryan and Jack. And I mentioned this the other day, but what I'm very confident in is whoever earns that starting role, that young man is going to be the best version of himself, because he's been pushed to really, compete and come into his own. Thank you.